Seth Rollins' injury at WWE Saturday Night's main event reportedly was used as cover for a real injury he suffered previously. We've got all the details on that. Plus, WWE reportedly never considered having Goldberg win his retirement match. The reason for why Lilian Garcia missed Evolution last night has been revealed. We've also got an update as to why Alistar Black vs. Ron Killings on SmackDown only lasted 2 minutes. Triple H remains coy on the future of WWE Evolution. Cody Rhodes talks about WWE shows in Saudi Arabia. The title versus title match involving TNA wrestlers and NXT superstars is confirmed for Slamversary. Backstage news on Swerve, Strickland and Will Osprey defeating the Young Bucks at AEW All in Texas. Kingston offers an update on his recovery from injury, and a major match is confirmed for tonight's Raw with big SummerSlam implications. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's begin with the latest details regarding the injury to Seth Rollins. Now, it looks like Rollins has indeed suffered a legitimate injury, but the severity and when he suffered the injury are certainly now into question. Now, more evidence is pointing to the injury Seth Rollins suffered at Saturday night's main event being a legitimate one. Now, Rollins appeared to tweak his knee when landing on his feet while performing a lion salt, causing his match with LA Knight to be momentarily stopped. Knight then quickly won the match with a BFT, after which Seth Rollins was helped backstage by WWE medical personnel. Now, PW Insider reported that Rollins was originally scheduled to go over in the match and that Knight winning was a last-second call, an audible if you will, due to the injury. Now, Fightful Select have since reported that Seth was seen walking around using crutches with a brace on his knee at Evolution last night. Rollins was on hand to watch his wife Becky Lynch compete in the Women's Intercontinental Championship triple threat match. As far as what this means moving forward, well, it's certainly quite interesting. Triple H, Paul Levesque, commented on the injury on the post-Evolution press conference. He said, quote, "A little bit inconclusive, doesn't look good. He will be at Birmingham tomorrow. He came here tonight. He was not going to miss his wife's performance tonight. We'll get an MRI and hope for the best, see where we can go with that." Now, the severity of the injury could impact WWE's long-term plans for the faction Rollins heads up. With Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman, of course, Rollins is also currently in possession of the men's Money in the Bank briefcase. But maybe things have got a little bit more complicated when it comes to actually when he suffered the injury and if this is a cover-up and pretending the injury is more severe than it actually is. Now, as I mentioned, while all signs point to Rollins' injury being legitimate, Post Wrestling's John Pollock reported that he was told 2 days before Saturday night's main event that an injury angle for Rollins was planned, one that would see Rollins end up on crutches. Now, adding to this, on the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez said that he was told the reason there are conflicting stories regarding Rollins' injury is because he didn't suffer his injury during his match with LA Knight at Saturday night's main event, with that spot instead being an angle to cover an injury that Rollins suffered before that match. He said, quote, "Everyone is insisting that he's hurt, and we were told he was hurt. And everyone's saying, yes, he's hurt." And then there's also the John Pollock story. There's also a third option, which somebody told me what happened. They say what is going on is the reason these stories are conflicting is because he is hurt, but what happened on Saturday was a storyline, meaning he is hurt, but he did not get hurt on that spot. That spot was a cover for an injury that he has, which he will have worked on, and they are in Birmingham, so the idea that was suggested is that he will be out of action for a little while. But they're going to say 9 months or whatever, but he will be back much sooner than that. Dave Meltzer then commented, saying he was told that Rollins' Money in the Bank cash-in was planned to come, quote, out of nowhere. Now, as of the time recording this video, there are no exact details regarding the nature of Rollins' injury or a potential return timeline, but of course we'll provide any further details as they emerge. What do you think about all of this? What do you think WWE's plans are? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, Goldberg, of course, he had his retirement match Saturday night on Saturday night's main event. Goldberg has officially retired, with the WCW legend suffering defeat at the hands of Gunther at WWE Saturday night's main event. The World Heavyweight Championship was on the line during the bout, and despite WWE's proclivity in recent years to strap Goldberg with gold, a report from PW Insider states that Goldberg was always slated to lose his retirement match with the Ring General. What's more, there was never any consideration in having Seth Rollins cash in his Money in the Bank contract on either Gunther or Goldberg. Saturday night's main event itself aired as planned, save for the outcome of Rollins versus LA Knight. But again, it depends on who you believe. Now, WWE, though, reportedly, they did apologize to Goldberg after the show because after the match, the WWE Hall of Famer gave a speech that, regrettably, was cut off due to a timing issue with the show. This obviously wasn't intentional, and according to a report from Fightful Select, a number of people within the company felt bad that it happened. Per the report, at least one WWE higher-up apologized to Goldberg over it. WWE did attempt to remedy the situation by uploading a video of the whole speech to their YouTube channel. During the speech, Goldberg spoke about how important Atlanta was to him and his career, thanked his friends and family, and emphasized the need to treat people with respect, saying, quote, "Treat everyone like you would like to be treated. Black, green, purple, Christian, Jewish, I don't give a damn. You treat every single human being with respect, and if I did anything in my career, I honored that and tried to pass that down." Now, going over to Evolution, Lilian Garcia missed the show last night. Ring announcing duties on last night's Evolution show were supposed to be handled by Lilian Garcia, but she ended up pulling out beforehand. Explaining her absence in a post on social media, Garcia noted that she would be unable to perform due to a lingering respiratory infection. She said, quote, "I was so excited to be announcing WWE Saturday night's main event and WWE Evolution this weekend, but because of lingering effects of a respiratory infection I got some weeks ago, I was only able to announce Saturday night's main event last night before my voice started wigging out. Grateful to my announce sister Alicia Taylor for stepping up to announce Evolution tonight, and so excited to celebrate all the women involved as all the women that have paved the way to this moment," she wrote while expressing her own disappointment on missing out. Now, SmackDown on Friday saw Ron Killings defeat Alistar Black in a very short match. Now, Friday night on SmackDown, Ron Killings picked up a big victory as he defeated Alistar Black in singles action. Many fans were shocked as the match lasted around 90 seconds, with Truth rolling up Black after a referee removed the chair from his hands, ending things very quickly. PW Insider has learned why that match was so short, as it was not the original plan. It is reported that although the finish of Truth winning with a roll-up was part of the plan, that match was supposed to go on a lot longer. However, things were said to be drastically cut due to time constraints caused by the segment involving Jelly Roll, Logan Paul, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, which apparently went on for much longer than expected. It is stated that a WWE source regarded the cut as a necessary evil, but is no reflection on the status of Killings or Black in WWE. There was a lot of surprise backstage when it came to the finish, but those in WWE have noted that neither man's push is being dropped. Triple H has commented on if we're going to see Evolution be a yearly PLE. In the very last question of the WWE Evolution post-show press conference, Emily May asked the CCO of WWE if Evolution would become a yearly show moving forward. Triple H's answer wasn't a yes or no, but a we shall see. Quote, "I don't want to say it's yearly. It's not yearly. I think we see what the demand is for it," he said, because as the demand for the woman grows across the board every day, it becomes less about having their own show and more about the equality. It's all there. They don't have to have their show to be in the spotlight, but if it works, we'll definitely go down that road again. It's a we shall see. He argued that fans are inspired by women's wrestlers enough that he doesn't know if they need to be focused on for one particular night. Quote, "I don't know if it has to be a particular night for them to be inspired by the women, because I think the women do that every single Monday, Tuesday, Friday, whenever we have a PLE, wherever we're having a Saturday night's main event. They're role models. They're inspiring people. They're changing their lives." That sounds dramatic to some degree, but that is kind of a thing they do. Now, Cody Rhodes, he's commented on the controversial nature of WWE's relationship with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. WWE superstar Cody Rhodes has addressed WWE traveling to Saudi Arabia for Night of Champions in a recent interview with the Boston Herald. In the days leading up to the premium live event, world events in the Middle East led to some travel restrictions in the region. Rhodes says it was WWE's responsibility to follow through with the event and said the company's business is going where our show goes. Quote, "That is a responsibility to our fan base," said Rhodes. "I don't want to be negative, but I will say there is a whole gotcha culture over who is a Democrat, who is a Republican, who is a moderate, and who people support. None of these things really should be anybody's business, because our business is going where our show goes, which is all over the world and hopefully bringing people together. WWE is a non-partisan brand. We go where the show goes. One of the biggest eye-opening moments when you go to Saudi Arabia with WWE is when you look out at the fans at the show and the meet and greets or outside the hotel, and there is such a similarity between those who are hungry for WWE back home and those who are hungry for it in Europe and those who are hungry for it all over the world. I feel so honored, especially in tumultuous times, to be able to go. Now, the match is confirmed for TNA's Slamversary pay-per-view this weekend. The double title match is locked in. It was locked in for TNA's Slamversary pay-per-view that Knockouts World Champion Masa Slamovich would meet the NXT Women's Champion in a double title match. The NXT Women's Champion going into Slamversary was decided last night at WWE Evolution. The champion, JC Jane, defended against Jordan Grace, and Jane was able to retain after Blake Monroe turned on Grace at the end of the match. It is now official that Slamovich and Jane will clash at Slamversary in a winner-takes-all double title match. Of course, that's set to take place this coming Sunday. Speaking of big matches and titles changing, the match at All In Texas, Swerve Strickland and Will Osprey defeated the Young Bucks at All In Texas, with the Bucks losing their AEW EVP status as a result. If the Bucks would have picked up the win, then neither Swerve nor Osprey would have been able to compete for the AEW World Championships for a year, and a report from Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Radio suggests the outcome of the match wasn't always set in stone. The stipulation was confirmed by AEW on July 2nd, but per Alvarez, the decision to have Osprey and Strickland win wasn't confirmed until a day or two before All In on July 12th, with the decision over the outcome of the match having apparently gone back and forth for a long time. Whilst Matthew and Nicholas Jackson are no longer EVPs on TV, they still retain their titles behind the scenes. With the loss, the Young Bucks' overall All-In record stands at 2 wins and 2 losses, having won at All-In 2018 and 2024, and losing in 2023 and 2025. It remains to be seen when Strickland and Osprey will be inserted into the AEW World Championship picture, with both men getting involved at All-In's main event to help Hangman Adam Page defeat Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. Now, we have an update here on Eddie Kingston, his recovery from injury. The Mad King, Eddie Kingston, has been on the shelf for 14 months now after suffering a severe leg injury at New Japan Resurgence last May in a no-ropes last man standing match against Gabe Kidd, where he tore his ACL and meniscus. Fans have been eagerly anticipating the return of the inaugural AEW Continental Champion, but may not have to wait too much longer, as Kingston gave a recovery update while joining Cesar Bononi. He said, quote, "Mentally, I'm finally seeing progress, you know what I mean? And it is getting better, even when you don't think it is. And like, I would have the doctor or the guy from PT say, oh, it's getting better. And I'm like, what are you talking about?" Kingston said with a laugh. Kingston has been working incredibly hard with his rehab assignments, but found a struggle came about when doing in-ring exercises. Kingston first struggled with thinking too much when performing exercises such as rolls and would make mistakes. Once he managed to clear his head, Kingston found that he was his own worst enemy, successfully doing his drills when not thinking. The motivated man that he is, the former New Japan Strong Openweight Champion, is powering through his rehab to return to wrestling. He said, quote, "Legs are sore, everything's sore from getting back in the ring and doing PT, so that's it. It's like right here," he points to his knee, where it gets it, like where they took out, but at least I can see now, pointing at the structure in his knee. Kingston optimistically said, "When I first get back in the ring and they were like, all right, you got to do this, let's do this, and let's do this, I just did it. For me, I can't think, I just gotta do it." And finally, a major match scheduled for WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix tonight. The next challenger for Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship will be determined on Netflix tonight. It was announced during Sunday's Evolution PLE that a gauntlet match would take place on Raw. CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Penta, and Bron Breakker will wrestle for a chance to earn a World Heavyweight Championship match against the Ring General at SummerSlam. Following the events of Night of Champions, Punk reignited his feud with Seth Rollins, Breakker, and their group after they interfered in his WWE Championship match against John Cena. On last Monday's Raw, both Knight and Punk attacked Rollins, leading to a segment later where they both expressed interest in taking him out. However, any storyline involving Rollins is currently in question after he seemingly suffered an injury at Saturday night's main event. Gunther's last World Championship match was a successful one, defeating Goldberg in what was the former WCW Champion's final match at Saturday night's main event. Of course, he defeated Jey Uso for the title back on the June 9th edition of WWE Monday Night Raw. But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. As you can see right there, we are getting closer and closer to 24,000 on that road to 25k. Our goal is to get to 25k in 2025. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Join the ever-expanding WNU. Remember, you can become a member of the WN365 roster too. Links in the video description below. You can scan the QR code when it appears on the sidebar. You get your badges, your emojis, and your exclusive members-only content. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, as always, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.